This is Hidden Zenith, the story of minds that shaped history, where unseen thinkers reach the highest point. What if the greatest mind in history never wrote a single word? What if truth had no scroll, but only a voice that refused to lie? This is not the story of a man who conquered land. This is the story of a man who conquered minds. The sun was setting on Athens, the cradle of civilization, when a strange man walked barefoot through its marble streets, not with scrolls or soldiers but with questions. His name, Socrates. Born in 470 BCE to a sculptor and a midwife, he was no prince, no poet, and no priest. He was a man of the people, flawed, plain, unshaven. Yet in the heart of this wrinkled man burned a question no empire could ignore. What is the good life? But Socrates didn't preach answers, he asked. He stopped politicians in the street, challenged poets in the marketplace, and confused the rich with their own words. To him, knowledge was not possession, it was awareness of one's ignorance. Answer: he built no school, wrote no books, and left no monument. All he left behind was a method, the Socratic method. A way of thinking that tears down illusions, layer by layer, until only truth remains. Power versus philosophy. But in a city obsessed with pride and victory, truth was a dangerous thing. Athens had just lost a war. Fear was rising. Enemies were within. And in the middle of it all stood a man who questioned everything: gods, laws, and even democracy. They accused him of corrupting the youth and disrespecting the gods. His student Plato watched in horror as his teacher, the man who awakened minds, was dragged into court. The unexamined life is not worth living, said Socrates at his trial. And when offered exile or silence, he chose death. He drank poison hemlock calmly, knowingly. Not because he wanted to die, but because he refused to live a lie. Socrates never wrote a single word. Yet his questions gave birth to Plato. Plato's writings gave birth to Aristotle. And Aristotle taught Alexander the Great. One man, with no sword and no scroll, shaped the minds that shaped the world. Socrates reached the zenith, the highest point, not in power, but in principle. His greatness was not seen by his generation. It was hidden behind dusty court records and confused students. But it still burns today wherever someone dares to ask, what is truth? In a world chasing fame and power, he chose silence and death. But through his questions, he became immortal. This is the story of a man who reached the hidden zenith. Stay with us on this journey as we uncover the unseen heights of philosophy, one mind at a time. Subscribe to Hidden Zenith, where greatness is not always loud, but never forgotten.